You know what I especially hate about being 30 and single is that everybody's divorced. Everybody's divorced. I literally think 8 out of 10 men that I match with are going on their second wife. And I think it would be pretty cool if I could just be somebody's first wife. I know 30 probably sounds old because a lot of you are like teenagers, but I really feel like I only found myself in the last couple of years and really kind of like got my life together. So I was definitely in no position to be looking for my husband before that anyway. And more than that, I live in Boston, which is like a fairly major metro. Like a lot of my friends who are 30 are still single, but somehow it seems like all the single men are a lot weirder than the single women. So if you, dear friend, know a single Boston man between 28 and 35, hit me up.
Here are my theories on why men do not go to singles events.
Please stop telling single women that their husbands will come when they stop looking for him. I have been Stevie Wonder for many years in my single season. I have been single for 10 years. What worked for one person does not work for the next person.
Okay, now while there may be truth to this comment, and I'm not saying I'm a baddie by DC standards, that's not what I'm saying. However, there may be some truth to that statement, but it's a lot more complex than just being a baddie.
Look no further, fellas, you found him. Well, maybe you didn't. More and more men are walking away from dating because they don't want to deal with foolishness and people continuing to call them weird when maybe those same people are weird themselves. So, 30, next stop 35. And the whole time, that wall is coming.
Are you single by chance?
No.
And you?
Married.
No? Single by chance?
No, I'm not, sorry.
No? Are you single by chance?
I'm not.
No? Do you have single friends by chance?
I'm sure I do.
Yes.
Not very many.
Single?
No, I'm married.
Ah, okay. Excuse me, are you single by chance?
No.
No? Single by chance? No? Are you single by chance? No? Do you have single friends? No? Are you single by chance?
No, I'm afraid.
No. Is anyone single by chance?
Nope.
No one is single. Are you single
No,
by
I'm
chance?
married, sorry.
Do you have any single friends?
I probably do have single friends, yeah.
Can you give them invitation for the singles party this Friday? Are you single by chance?
No, unfortunately not.
No.
Sorry.
Do you have any single friends?
Yeah, they're actually just up here.
Can you invite them for singles party this Friday? Ask you, are you single by chance? Are you?
Do you want to take me?
Are you single?
Do you want to marry me?
After I just sat and got drunk at the bar, my bartender gonna ask me, you better go meet your man? Would I be at the bar drinking by myself? I was about to go meet my man. Going home. Don't piss me off, because I flipped this whole bar over.
I went to a Christian singles event, and here's why I think we're doomed to be single for the rest of our lives. That was a bit dramatic, but let me tell my story. So I went to singles night at Union Church's Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Stephen since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. There's going to be 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear any more, especially not with a biblical spin. Instead of having meaningful conversations about finding and building Christ-centered relationships, the event was a Q&A about superficial stuff, like mostly whether to settle for someone who does not earn 6 figures. Like, that seemed to be the hot topic of the night. People were asking that same question over and over again. And honestly, all that I took from it was that we're focused on the wrong things.
Somebody says singles are never going to forget 2024. And when I promise you, every time I come on one of these apps, somebody's getting proposed to, whether it's an engagement or a girlfriend proposal, somebody's having a baby. Like, where did y'all get these men? Like, did I miss an email or something? Was I supposed to show up to get my man and I missed out? Because why I'm not engaged? why I'm not pregnant. Like, what's going on? Not gonna hold you. 2024, in terms of dating, 2 thumbs down, 0 out of 10. Would not recommend to anybody. But we still got 2 months. So maybe our single life is gonna end with a bang, but like a good bang. Like, maybe we'll go into 2025 with a good man, Savannah. You know, I'm manifesting that. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm trusting that we will end the year better than we started.
You will repel men who are not ready for you. And this is a good thing. Here's why. If you've ever been talking to someone and then you go on a couple of dates, you hang out, everything's great, and then all of a sudden they pull away, this might be why. If you have your ish together, like a job, you got a good head on your shoulders, you take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, you got it going on. And maybe you fall into the category of, I can't understand why you're still single. This may be why. If a man approaches you to get to know you, he's doing this with minimal information, right? Then he collects the information and he maybe saw you here and now he's realizing that you are way up here.
Is that so? Exhibit A.
I know a lot of you have been waiting for the Phil's Man update, and I wish I had better news, but there is no update. Basically, this was, 2 weeks ago, and I met a gentleman at Phil's coffee shop, and it felt very movie-like, very meet cute, where our eyes meet, and he, I give him a signal, and he comes over and asks me for my number. He had texted me while we were standing next to each other. This is his name. And then I replied later in the day, hi, blank. It was really wonderful meeting you, or something like that. And then I never heard back. So we don't really know what happened, but I have a feeling I know what happened, because a guy doesn't just walk across a coffee shop and ask you for for your number and then never hit you up again. So it could not be this, but I think he saw my social media and got scared. I've been in the situation where a family member of the guy that I'm going out with starts to see my content, and it becomes a very weird thing. So this is just an added layer of, the type of content that I create. So, but my perfect person is going to think what I do is super cool and vulnerable and awesome. So I'm not too worried about it, but just to close the loop on Phil's Man, I don't think I'll be hearing back from him because it's been quite a long time. Okay, love you, bye.
Listen, man, I like you. I think you're a good person. I think based on what I've seen, I think based on what I've looked at, just the activities you're involved in, I think you're a good person. You have a good heart. You have a kind heart. I think you try to give to your friends. I think you try to be the best person that you possibly can according to your morals, your moral compass, that whole thing. You try to give as much as you can. Good causes, fit. You like to stay in the gym, maybe do a little kickboxing. I don't know. I'm just assuming here. But I think, unfortunately, a lot of modern women, this standard thing comes into play. I'm not willing to settle. I mean, you could find a good dude looking like you look in the places that you go to, social activities, hobbies. You can find a person like that. It's not impossible. So the fact that there are a lot of women out there not able to do that, somebody somewhere got to stop putting it on the men. Somebody somewhere got to start taking some accountability and saying, maybe it's something I said. Maybe it's something that I'm currently saying. Maybe I'm not saying anything. I'm cute, I'm sweet, I'm nice. But internally, I hold some beliefs that I probably need to work on. And maybe I'll find somebody.
When your friend drags you to a single mixer after spending the last 3 days moving. I was so exhausted, so I left after 30 minutes. Still very single, and the men we're not at dating in Vegas is truly the worst. Lol.
I was a little surprised when he took me up on it, but I got my wallet out. I brought my card. You just don't see it very often where I offer to pay for half of the dinner or drinks and then he takes me up on it. The whole finance part of dating is probably one of the most confusing parts for me and the part that gives me the most anxiety. It is a little bit unfair of me to offer to pay half of the bill, but then when the guy takes me up on it, I don't talk to him again. It is a bit of a red flag if a guy doesn't pay for the first date. Do expect it on the first date, and if you don't do it, I'm not gonna talk to you again. When you're on a date and the check comes, do you offer to pay?
Okay, I'm on my way to one of the strangest singles events I've literally ever heard of. I'm getting in the car and I'm gonna go pick up my friend and then we'll tell you about it. So unfortunately my audio got butchered, but this is my friend Naomi and we're going to a singles event where you make a PowerPoint about your friend and then you present it to a bar full of singles. So we are each presenting each other.
Okay, we're off to a horrible start.
0 out of 10.
We were looking for parking and we saw these two really cute guys and they were communicating with us about a parking spot. They were like, no, these people aren't leaving. And so we pulled up to them, we rolled down our window and we were like,
are you single?
And one of them said, no, we're not. And the other one said, yes, we are.
And then they essentially kissed.
Yeah, they're married to each other, is the conclusion of that story.
Okay, if nothing else, outside the event, really good little sunset situation.
Okay, we're doing deep, calming breathing.
So we got to the event. They had a little singles bingo to help break the ice for some conversation starters. There's my friend Naomi. And then here's me doing Naomi's presentation to the bar. I, of course, had to talk about her dog. And here is Naomi presenting me to the bar. So we both made PowerPoints about each other. And then after you do your PowerPoint about your friend, there's a little Q&A. So some people asked me some questions. I answered them. Some people asked Naomi some questions after I talked about her. She answered them. All in all, very painless. I would say it was a fun event. We did not find any romantic connections, but it's super fun to be able to just present your friend and talk about them. Plus, we caught this really beautiful sunset at the end of the event. So all in all, good day.
That is a beautiful sunset that modern women can enjoy being single by themselves away from men, because men don't want to deal with that anymore.
I was having a conversation today with a man about modern dating and how fascinating I find it. And he was like, why do you find it fascinating? And I was like, because we've never been in this position before in society, right? Where like our grandmothers weren't able to have a bank account without a man. And then our mothers were able to like do things on their own. They were entering the workforce. They were the mothers that did it all. Our generation is truly the first generation that has had this much independence, right? That has been able to have everything on our own, been able to do it all on our own and not have to rely on a man for anything. Our generation is the first generation that is really like being like, hey, yeah, like I don't have to have kids and I don't have to get married in order to have like a fulfilled life. But it's really mostly on the women's side that's happening. Women are outpacing men and getting bachelor's degrees, master's degrees in higher education, whereas men aren't catching up to the women. And so it's creating this giant chasm in the dating pool where like women are straying more left and men are straying to the extreme right. And in this climate, that's not simply like a difference of, oh, the economy. It's a difference in, oh, I don't know, morals and like basic human decency. And like how women are so fulfilled through our friendships with other women because we have deep and intimate friendships, whereas men don't have that. Men, I don't know why, but they don't have like fulfilling friendship, and how that is also shaping the dating climate. And then I was also talking about the taxi cab theory about like how men will find the love of their lives and won't settle down because they're not ready to, and how when women aren't ready, but they meet a really good guy who they could see a really good future with, they get ready to settle down even if they weren't ready at the time. And how men haven't changed, how they like still abide by the taxi cab theory, whereas women are like being more picky because they have the opportunity to be more picky. And then he was like, yeah, like you can see it in the declining birth rates because people are waiting longer to have kids. And I'm like, well, I know a lot of women who like when we were growing up, they wanted kids, and now in this climate, like they're unwilling to settle for a terrible partner, so they're foregoing having kids altogether because they would rather not have kids than be saddled with a partner who's going to act like another kid. And I just found it very fascinating because there was a lot of things that like he was in the dark about, like when it comes to like how we think of things. Like he had no idea about the taxi cab theory. He had no idea about like the reason that women weren't really like having kids wasn't just because they were waiting till later in life, but it was indeed because women are refusing to settle. Yeah, if anybody else thinks about this constantly, feel free to comment because I find it all very interesting how like the male loneliness epidemic, declining birth rates, overturning of Roe v. Wade, it's all connected. And like I feel like not enough people are talking about this because like this is going to be like an insane point in history when they look back at like the sociology of like what everything was going on.
So most of the men are probably going to know this, but just to run it down really quickly, because you guys spend your time talking about how you're not settling and you're going on with your life while sitting in a building that a man made. But men aren't educated. Overall construction industry, according to Bureau of Labor and Statistics, let's say 11% women, 89% men. Construction laborers, 96% men. Construction managers, 92% men. Carpenters, 97% men. Electricians, 97% men. Plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters, 98% men. Operating engineers and other construction equipment operators, 97% men. Painters, construction and maintenance, 92% men. Roofers, 99% men. First line supervisors of construction trades and extraction workers, 94% men. Civil engineers, 81% men. They're building your stuff. And I put it this way. So y'all can't say that men aren't educated. It's not the education that you care about. Just because you go out and get a degree in English, fantastic, good for you. But then who has to build that office, that facility that you need? Who has to build that high rise that you're staying in, talking about this type of stuff? Or even that apartment building, that new apartment that has all of these amenities, like a nice gym to make you feel safe and comfortable, and a gated community and all that other stuff, and roads and sidewalks for you to walk your little poodle. Who builds all that stuff? Uneducated men, I guess. Y'all can stop now.
So I tried speed dating today. I was like, let's give raving a break, you know? Because Skyline is next weekend. And my friend was hosting the event. So I was like, okay, cool. It's like Latino, based, like my people. I've heard a lot about the ones in like Santa Monica or like the Arts District, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's just going to give very güerito, which, I mean, I'm güerita, I guess, in that sense, pero I want them to speak Spanish. Anyways, so I always wanted to do it. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. So I did it. I went by myself, but I knew some people that were there, but they weren't going to be participating. So it was a round of like 11. So it was 11 men, 11 girls. I was like, I got this. I'm an introvert. I love talking to people. I go to like networking events. Like I wasn't really nervous. And then like they gave us all the paper, and like after each round, you put yes or no, like interested, like to learn more, to see if you're a match. So the way things were going to happen was if you both matched, then the event will email you and I guess let you know and like provide you the Instagram of the other person. So I was like, all right, cool. But they only gave us 3 minutes with each person. And like that time flies. So there's not enough time to like really get to know someone. But anyways, I did like the idea of speed dating though, because quickly it's like, I don't like you. So like next, and like you kept to move in. You didn't waste like your whole night or whatever. And like you can get through a lot of men more quickly versus like going on like these multiple dates, dude. It's just a lot of work. I've like given up with dating. Like there was an era in my life where I was doing a lot of dating. And I learned a lot. But then like, it's just so draining. The last person I've dated, I ended things last summer, whatever. And like, dude, I'm so chill. Like I've been so at peace with like just doing me. I'm very independent. I've been single for a while. And so I'm very comfortable with it. And so like, no me llama la atención to like, oh, just get in a relationship. And that's what I told some of the guys there, because they asked me. So like, I'm waiting to find what I want, But I've come to learn that the things I need is like, we need to align with like values, goals, visions, the way we see life, the things we like. Like, yes, physical matters. That's the first attraction. But like, it's just more than that now, And it's really hard for me to like have a crush. Like, it's hard for me to like someone. The last person I liked was a lot younger than me. And that was a surprise because normally I'm very strict with myself. But that's something I've come to learn, that sometimes things are not going to fall into my like cookie cutter like parameters. So I've been a little more flexible when it comes to the age part. Most people my age are already like either, taken or whatever. So yeah, that was an interesting crush. But yeah, I mean, I would do speed dating again. And it was cool. Like, I'm not mad that I didn't like, out of the 11, I only put yes on 1. And that was because they liked, or like, or they knew about like raving, which is really important to me. Like if you hate it, if you are against it, like I don't want you judging me, and I don't want you being like, oh, you can't go or whatever. When like I love the music, and so I like that he knew about that. So I was like, okay, cool. Like we can further discuss what else we like. That was important. So anyways, we'll see on Monday if that was a match or not, because dating apps are just so draining. I don't know what kind of fucking options they'd be letting in there. My thumb hurts from like fucking swiping left. Yeah, it's very rare for me to like someone in there, and I'm not gonna pay for it. So yeah, that was cool. If you ever tried it, let me know. If you've never done it, would you? But that was an interesting experience. So it'd be cool if there was like a raver speed dating, because then that way we'd already have something in common, So yeah, we'll see if I find a rave at Skyline. I did last year.
I hear what you're saying, but what it actually sounds like is I've hit the wall. I've come to a point in my life to where I thought I could do all this playing around, but when I look up, all of the good guys are gone. So I need to really buckle down and stop this playing and messing around and, oh man, he looks so hot. I need to worry about integrity and behavior.
That is what I'm here for. Come on. You came for Yes, I came for They should come out. Yeah, I'm out for them.
Listen to me carefully. Dating in the DMV, Arlington, DC area is trash. Tell me why every girl here on Hinges, the way to win me over is to book a flight, is to buy me this, to help me. I can't even afford to live for myself. The cost of living, I came from San Antonio, Texas. I came from Texas. The cost of living is so much lower. Here is terrible. Tell me why 2 weeks ago I take a girl on a date. Bowling, date, whatever you want to call it. Bowling, just bowling. I spent $160 and I lost. I didn't even win. I swear she was on the bowling team. I lost. In a 2 week span, I think on this girl I spent $450. And I wasn't even trying to date her. I was just enjoying her company. I can't afford it. I can't. I also got the text this morning that, I don't see us going anywhere else. I was relieved. I'm not going to lie. It's not a little bit. I was relieved. I couldn't afford it anyway, so I was counting my pockets. Dating out here is crazy. I will stay single until I go back to Texas. I will wait. I cannot afford it.
Nope. Nope. Not doing it. Men not attending singles events. Men not approaching women. Nope. Not for $400. I'm not approaching nobody. Y'all got it out here. I'm good.
Why I am single at the age of 38. Hey y'all. Yes, your girl is 38 and fine as hell. And yes, I am single. So I recently had a customer and we started chatting, about life. He was like, how old are you if you don't mind me asking? And I'm like, I'm 38. I look good, right? He was like, yeah, you look great. He was like, I'm not trying to come at you or whatever because I am married. And he was. He was like, why are you not married? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know. Ask God. I wanted that all the time.
So I got sick of the dating apps and decided to attend 2 different dating events this past week in Atlanta. And these experiences really put into perspective just the overall dating climate. I thought I was gonna come in there and be the bomb. When I tell you I was humbled, a certain group of women told me that my shoes were not giving, meaning that my shoes were not up to par. I was wearing some Air Jordans and apparently I had a crease or 2 in them. I don't even know why you're looking down there. Really? And just tonight alone, I had 4 different women. None of them knew each other, okay? These were 4 separate conversations where all 4 of them said, you're so handsome, you're well put together, you seem like a great catch, but I'm just not attracted to you. I'm sorry, I can't. And you seem like a great guy, but when I tell you, humbling, a very, very humbling experience. Another woman literally said to me, nigga, why is you talking to me? Because we're here to mingle. That's what we're here for. What?